Hi, this is Ang from Amazing Websites, and welcome to this tutorial on how to configure Akeeba Backup in Joomla 3. To get the most out of Akeeba Backup, or the free version of Akeeba Backup, I suggest that you spend a bit of time tweaking it so that it works the way that you want it. There are three things that I like to do when I set up Akeeba Backup. The first and probably the most important step is to set the backup folder above the public HTML folder. The second step is to change the description of the backup file, and lastly, set the number of backups quota. So let's get started with our first step, which is to set the backup folder so that it sits above the public HTML file. The first thing is to log into cPanel and click on File Manager. Make sure that you click on Show Hidden Files and click on Go. The public HTML folder is where you store all of your Joomla files, and it's what gets displayed to visitors when they come to visit your website. Normally, Akeeba Backup has a default folder where it stores your Joomla backup files, which is administrator/component/com/akeeba/backup. Besides being very difficult to access this folder, storing your backup folder above the public HTML folder is a great security measure. Normally, if a hacker can gain access to your files, they may inject malicious software or completely deface your website. However, if you create a folder and store the backup folders above the public HTML folder, you will be able to recover your files if such an event happens. Let's create the Akeeba Backup folder now. Click on the root folder, click on New Folder, and type in the name you want to call the folder. Click on Create New Folder, and there's your backup folder. I've signed into the control panel of my Joomla site. Now what I need to do is go into Configuration, click in the output directory, and navigate to the very root of your folder, and click on the Akeeba Backup folder that you created, and click on Use. Now every time you do a backup, all of your backup files will be stored in the Akeeba Backup folder that you created in the root directory. Now let's move on to our second step. After Akeeba Backup backs up your file, it gives it a default file name such as site, host, date, time. I found that it's easier to rename this file to just site and then date. That way, if you ever need to download a copy of your backup file, you can easily distinguish which backup file belongs to which site, rather than getting it mixed up with all of your other copies. In this example, I'm going to change site to the name of the website. And I'll just delete host and time. So now the name of our backup file will be the site name and the date when it was backed up. Let's move on to our third and final step, which is to set the number of backup quota. Scroll down. By default, Akeeba Backup will keep 3 copies of your backup files. This may or may not be ideal for your site. However, there's a handy feature that allows you to set up a certain number of backup quotas to keep. To enable quota count, click on Enable Quota Count and set the number of copies to keep. I'll enter 10. I can also set the number according to these predefined values. Now click and save. That's the end of our tutorial. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.